Welcome to Unraveled on Sandy's Numerology. Today I'm looking at the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. What is important in Sandy's numerology is all of these numbers of people's birthday and the day of the event is one thing. But now, when you now look at a person's name, because a person's name, the name that is written on an original birth certificate and in the format that it is written, is the map of your life. And every letter in your name will tell you where you are for a period of time. And then you look at a person's full born names and their numbers and the day, the month, and you add the year and you bring in their life path. It gives another number, and you tie this all together. David Anthony Payne, he was born on the 14th, which adds to a 5, but there's a 4 there, of the 4th month, which gives him triple 4s. His name David adds to a 4. He also had a 4 life path, but he had the 4s and the 5s, which is a lot of Madeleine's numbers. And he was under the letter D, which is also a number 4. He'd had his birthday already and his age added to a number 5. So he's got 1 5 in the day, 14, it adds to a 5, his age adds to a 5, lots of difficulties and a lot of untruths. I go to Fiona Elaine born Webster, married to David Payne. She was born on the 29th, she was born in the 8th month. We bring in the number 8 because the day 3rd of May added to an 8. She was under the letter N in Fiona, and she was shifting between N and A in Fiona. And it's interesting that under her name was the numbers 5 and 8, and there also is in this 11 too. She was under a time of great difficulties, but the impact of Madeleine, because Madeleine wasn't bloodline to her, shows that there was no death around her, but she was distinctly under the letter N, which is the number 5, and there was a lot of difficulties and untruths around her. We then go to Jane Michelle Tanner, who was Russell O'Brien's partner. She was born on the 16th of April, and there again we have the 4s. She was between 2 letters, which was the E in Jane and the M in her middle name, Michelle. Jane had a 9, 5, 11, 7. She was in a 3, 1 year. There comes up the number 3. We go to her partner, Russell James O'Brien, and he was born on the 26th of November, and there's that 26 that adds to an 8. He hadn't had his birthday. He was in his life path, which is a 9, and he was between 2 letters in the S and the E of Russell, and he has a double death triangle, and it's not under his name, so this would not be bloodline to him, but he had 2 triangles that would show that there was a death of a female, particularly a female, and numbers were in line because it brought in this number 5 between these 2 5, 8, 13, 4 death triangles. We now go to Matthew David Oldfield. He was born on the 4th of January. There's the 4. He had double hidden 5s. He had a 3 life path, and he was in a 5-11 year. But this is showing he had triple 5s. So again, 5, which highlights the difficulties, the untruths, But we bring in his partner, Rachel Mariama Jean Mampilli. She was born on the 11th of the 11th, which adds to a 22, that adds to a 4, and she sat between two letters in the H and the E of Rachel, and it sits directly under her, which shows a death up close. So this might be related to Madeleine, but it also might be related to somebody in her life. And she, at the time, was in her life path year, which was a 3, and she was transitioning to a 4 personal year. But when we line everybody up, there is a similarity of numbers, and in many of them, the impact of this event on the 3rd of May would kind of hit their core. Madeleine was under the letter M, and that is the 13th letter of the alphabet, and that 13 adds to a 4. Now, I don't want viewers to get stuck into this for their name. You've got to understand how you put this all together. But Madeleine, under that letter M, that would also include the rest of her names and the date that she was born, was in a death triangle. When you tie in Kate and you look under her name, she was 39, and in her name she was under the letter M in Marie. There again is the 13-4, and where this sits, it sits right under her name, which would show a death triangle. We go to Jerry, who was 38, turning 39, and he was crossing two particular letters. He was going from between his A and L and Gerald to under his L, so he was sitting between two, and he had a 13-4 triangle as well. When you line up the family, you can see the impact that Jerry and Kate would suffer a death around them, and because of where Madeleine was underneath her letter of her alphabet, M, that it would be her, because when it sits under your name, it is bloodline to you, and it can be your own death as well. Is Madeleine alive? My feeling then, absolutely not. And this mystery of the events, I've got to bring back the day, and the impact is Kate, Madeleine, and the day. And Kate and Jerry are the last people to physically see Madeleine ever again. The only two people that you can hold responsible here is Kate and Jerry. And I go back to Kate and Madeleine and the numbers, the 3s, the 5s, the 8s. And because the day has got the hidden 8s, this could easily have been where there was drama in the room, and Madeleine, she could have fallen off the bed. She could have hit her head, but she also could have got a hiding that would have been a little bit too aggressive. And the interesting thing is, if Kate is guilty, then so is the father, husband, Jerry. So they kind of have to stick together. But we have to trust the universe that when the time is right, the universe is very patient and it will reveal. Thank you for watching Unraveled on Sandy's Numerology.